Good evening. Imagine paying a mortgage on a home that no longer exists and will not be rebuilt. That is the nightmare residents in Dagenham find themselves in after their homes were destroyed in a fire. It spread rapidly through scaffolding that was there only because flammable cladding needed removing. The fire was 2 years ago today and still those people are living in limbo. Rags Martell is here. Rags, why are these people stuck?
Quite simply, Lucrezia, this fire destroyed everyone's homes, but also everyone's life. And at the moment, it's a very big legal mess because the landlord who owned the building has gone bust and no one can access the insurance payout. So this is just one example of the so-called building safety crisis, which all began with Grenfell. But we're going to hear from the residents in Dagenham now.
Hi, I'm Sarah and I lost my home in a fire.
My name is James Allchurch. My flat was destroyed by a fire. We were up there, weren't we?
Yeah.
Third floor, fourth floor, roughly.
Their homes burnt down, but their mortgages are still standing.
So I really loved my flat. It was safe, it was a beautiful yellow colour, and I had great neighbours. It was a really lovely place to live.
But 2 years ago, the Spectrum building in Dagenham was destroyed. The worst residential fire since Grenfell.
I'm just left 2 years on in a complete state of limbo. I don't know when I'm going to be able to move on with my life.
And every month, the mortgage payments come out of her bank account.
£745 this month, same last month.
And you pay a mortgage for a flat that doesn't exist every month?
Yeah, I pay a mortgage of £750 a month for a flat that doesn't exist.
The damage to the building was so bad, it was demolished 4 months later.
We don't know when we will receive some money for those properties. That was my pension, my savings for the future. I worry for the future.
This is as close as you can get to the Spectrum building these days. But 2 years ago, the Housing Secretary, Angela Rayner, stood here promising to speed up the process of removing dangerous cladding and make buildings safer. But 2 years on, very little has changed.
After a spell away, the Housing Secretary is back in her old job, but progress in fixing the cladding crisis is painfully slow. In 2024, only 50% of buildings had work started or completed to remove the material. 2 years later, that has only crept up to 54%.
At the moment, it's looking like it's at least a decade until cladding is fixed on buildings, but there's really no timeline at all for fixing all the internal defects.
And the back of the building would be over there, wouldn't it?
They lost everything 2 years ago, but without a fix to the building safety crisis, other homes could be at risk.
Well, the administrators told us they recognise it's a difficult situation for residents, saying they're moving as fast as they can. As for the government, they told us we're speeding up cladding removal to bring the building safety crisis to an end, but still lots of talk and very little action. One little footnote, as Mayor of Manchester, Andy Burnham, said the government should do more. So I guess it's over to him for more action.
All right, watch this space. Rags, thank you. A 15-year-old has been arrested on suspicion of murder after a teenager was stabbed to death at Brent Civic Centre yesterday. Police were called to the council building at around 2:30 in the afternoon, where they found the victim, who police believe to be a 17-year-old, David Winter. A fashion designer has told a court he feared for his life when his £130,000 watch was allegedly cut from his wrist. Catalin Butazatu was outside a restaurant in Mayfair when he says he was surrounded by 3 men and restrained. Caffo Pata reports from Southwark Crown Court.
Fashion designer Catalin Butazatu walking outside Southwark Crown Court. Shortly before this was filmed, he told jurors how he feared for his life after having his watch stolen. And this is the watch in question, an R11 Richard Mille watch with an original value of over £100,000. The night this photo was taken, that watch left his wrist. It is alleged that while smoking cigars outside a Mayfair restaurant, 3 men walked past Mr. Butazatu, scoping him out for a potential robbery. And when he crossed the road, it happened. The scratches on his wrist allegedly the result of a sharp object being used to cut the strap of his watch. And despite arresting all 3 men, the watch has never been found. There was a very heated exchange between Mr. Botazatu and lawyers for the defendants. They accused him of embellishing, exaggerating his testimony. Mr. Botazatu responded by standing up in the witness box, dismissing the use of his translator. He looked at the jury and then at the defense lawyers and gave them a step-by-step demonstration of how his watch was stolen. As for the two defendants, they deny any such allegations of robbery. One of the defendants, Abdel El Habchi, argues the defence of duress, meaning he potentially felt pressured. The other defendant, Ali El Dawazi, denies any foresight or participation in the robbery. As for Mr. Botazatu, he will return to Romania, where he comes from, while the trial continues. Kaf Opata, ITV News.
An inquest into the death of Professor Jason Arde has officially opened. Professor Arde was born in Lambeth and became the University of Cambridge's youngest ever black professor. He died at a property in Clapham 12 days ago. Anna Kings was in court for today's hearing and sent this update.
In today's 10-minute hearing, the coroner, Dr. Julian Morris, told the court that Jason Arde was found unresponsive by family members at a property in Battersea where he lived. Teams from London Ambulance Service and the Metropolitan Police attended and attempts were made to resuscitate the 41-year-old, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. Police do not believe his death was suspicious, but the coroner today said he has reason to suspect Professor Arde died an unnatural death, meaning it was not of natural causes, and has ordered further investigations into the circumstances. The inquest today was adjourned and will continue at a later date. It comes after Professor Arde was the subject of intense scrutiny in the press and on social media in the weeks leading up to his death. He was the subject of repeated allegations of plagiarism in his work and of fabricating other parts of his life. The professor was an inspiration to many when he was appointed the youngest ever black professor at the University of Cambridge, in part because of the obstacles he'd spoken of overcoming whilst growing up in Lambeth. He'd written a memoir, which his family have confirmed will be published tomorrow as planned. And while that will give an insight into parts of Jason Arde's life in his own words, it won't answer many of the questions that remain about his final weeks.
Hannah King's reporting there. Now, relief for long-suffering commuters using Thameslink. The dreaded ironing board seats are being replaced. All 115 trains will have their base cushions and backrests improved from next year. The company was nationalised in May. Next this evening, all summer, we've been meeting council leaders, asking them what they are doing for their residents. Tonight has had a more dramatic year than most. He defected from the Tories last October, and after April's election, he became leader of the first reform borough in London. So welcome tonight, Keith Prince. Thank you for joining me tonight. Let's look back. A year ago, you were preparing to leave the Tories, the Conservative Party. Looking back now, is this what you imagined your political future would look like?
No, I mean, this time last year, I couldn't have even imagined that I'd be leader of Havering Council. It's always been my dream because I was born and raised in Havering, educated in Havering. I did spend a period when I was leader of Redbridge Council, but, you know, this is my hometown. It's just amazing to have that honour and privilege. And no, I couldn't have foreseen that at all. OK, let's just remember what happened back in end of April, May. Here's a moment, the morning after the vote. Let's have a listen.
I am delighted to be here in the sunshine outside Havering Town Hall, which I can now say is under new management.
Reform UK leader there, Nigel Farage, obviously. You promised to do things differently to the Tories and to Labour. Can you point to something that your residents will have noticed that neither party would have done? Well,
the council wasn't run by either the Tories or Labour. It was run by the Residents' Association, actually. Yeah, absolutely. In relation to one of the big issues we have, which is Launders Lane, I've now told the Chief Executive to go ahead and prosecute. This is a field, you've done reports on it yourselves, actually,
we have, yeah,
that continually catches fire. I think the previous administration and even the previous Tory administration pussyfooted around, and I said, we're not doing that anymore, we're going to go for prosecution. So we've started the process of prosecuting the owner because he is polluting the atmosphere and he is harming our residents.
OK, well, the owner says, and we did approach the owner, obviously, and so they told us that they know there's a problem, they've been trying to engage with Havering Council, but you've not explained to them the planning and environmental implications of what you want to do, and they've been seeking to progress remediation. What's your comment to that, then? Because at the moment it's still burning, it's still there, isn't it?
I'm a Romford boy, but I'm also a practising Christian, so I can't actually say exactly what I would
Please
say.
Don't.
But that's
certainly not. Yeah,
that's an interesting.
That's
an interesting position. That's all I would say. And how close that is to the truth, I would question.
We've just read out the response from the landowner there, but obviously people who are living there having to breathe that in and suffer all the health implications. We know that people are having to go to the doctors a lot more. They've been living with it for years now.
Yeah.
I mean, you say that you've started this procedure. How long is it going to take for there to be an actual difference made to people's lives?
It depends whether the landowner actually does want to engage with us properly or not. We had an agreement with him earlier this year to put a surface over the area that's the problem to starve it of oxygen. He agreed to that, and then when it came to us actually doing it, he withdrew his permission. Yeah. Which is just ridiculous and outrageous. Also, we have the situation where the EA, the Environmental Agency, are just giving us platitudes. That's not acceptable.
Well, the Environmental Agency says ultimately it is up to Havering Council. They're the lead authority in regulating the site and for monitoring air quality.
Again,
so something needs to be done.
Again, the DFE, the DEFRA, they have a responsibility as well, but they don't want to put their hand in their pocket. But it's funny, isn't it? Because in 3 other areas they've done something. And interestingly, just recently they've done something in Wigan about clearing the site.
We are straying far away from Havering.
Well, we're not, no, because the point here is if they're going to spend money elsewhere, then they should be spending it in Havering as well.
OK, listen, it sounds like you reached an impasse there, which is not going to be great for the residents of Havering and Romford. Let's talk about finances. Now, when you were elected, we know that the finances were in a pretty bad way. What's the size of the hole today?
Well, the recent hole is around about £40 million, just
That's
to round it up.
a big hole.
That is a very big hole.
What are you going to do to plug that hole? Where's that money going to come from?
Well, we have got plans to do that, but we're not being helped by the government because the government recognise that we're a well-run authority, but because of government finance, we're suffering. Because of the pressures from adult social services, we're suffering. And then not only have they got the cheek to not give us the right amount of funding, they're also charging us interest on the money we've got to borrow to get us out of the black hole that they've put us in.
Are you going to have to make cuts when it comes to services in Havering because of this?
We will have to make cuts, of course we will. Well, we're looking at the whole area, but we're going to have to make cuts across the board. But also we're going to have more investment.
Some specifics, Keith.
Well, we're in the process of doing it now, and if I was to give you specifics, it would be wrong because we're in the budget process now, so we are looking at what options we have.
Very quickly, for people watching who are living in Havering and Romford as well, just give us one thing that you absolutely protect from any cuts.
Well, frontline services, absolutely.
OK, we have that on record. Keith Prince, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Still to come on the programme. TV star and musician Alicia Witt joins us live to talk about her London shows. But first, in a city she loved to visit, Dolly Parton has been remembered with great affection. Tributes have come from her many fans from Buckingham Palace and the library she gave so many books to. Helen Keenan's been looking back at Dolly's love of London and the impact her philanthropy has had on the capital.
She's worked hard to earn her title as the Queen of Country Music.
Tumble out of bed and I stumble to the kitchen.
With hair as big as her hips, Dolly Parton was revered worldwide. She had a long-standing love affair with London.
What do you do?
I sing. In 1983, she performed at the Dominion Theatre and during that trip took in the capital's iconic sights. And today, the royal family honoured Dolly with her own musical ensemble. Live music tributes have been played across London, the White Stripes' Jack White performing his cover of Jolene at the event in Apollo. Tonight, the tributes to Dolly will continue. I'm big enough to please something. This bar in Highgate has dedicated their decorations to the singer, and tonight's country music act, who's from the same state as Dolly, will be honouring her.
As a country singer, Nashville is the place to be, and she went right after high school. I've been in the same room as her, and her aura is just the most beautiful thing.
Songs so well known they inspired a West End musical, something she spoke to Lucrezia about when she also pondered the merits of the Tube.
You think I should go on the Tube?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to be the one that makes Dolly go on the Tube. For that experience.
I think I'll just probably ride around in the limousine when I'm here.
It's that cheeky sense of humour that won over this Hertfordshire-based Dolly tribute act.
She's always just been who she says she is, that little girl that grew up in the Smoky Mountains that just wanted to make a better life for herself, her family, and every single person she comes into contact with.
A singer, actress and philanthropist, which included giving free books to children. And at Swiss Cottage Library today, children have been benefiting.
How has this helped children in Camden?
It's got books directly into their hands. It really shows what she was like as a person, to take that personal experience of her dad and his illiteracy and then turn that into something for the whole world.
Her fans will always love her, and the world will benefit from Dolly Parton's profound legacy.
Keenan on how London has been remembering Dolly Parton. Well, now, if you're a fan of the sitcom Sybil or Orange is the New Black, then my next guest tonight will be a familiar face. Alicia Witt's credits also include horror smash Longlegs and David Lynch's Twin Peaks. That is not all. She's also a singer-songwriter. Her new album, Between Heaven and Earth, is out now. She's here to tell us more about that and some upcoming London shows. But first, let's take a look at this. Alicia Witt joins me now. I'm loving looking at the old footage there. We're going to get to that in a minute. And this is a very unconventional way to start an interview, Alicia, but we've got to talk about Dolly Parton.
We do.
Because you live in Nashville in Tennessee, don't you? Right, so where Dolly was from. Yes. I mean, this has been such huge news, and it's really touched so many people, hasn't it? Including you. You paid a lovely tribute on Instagram today. Yesterday. Yeah.
It's affected everybody, and I mean, Nashville is. She's such. It's hard to even put words. It's not like she's exclusively. Everybody around the world.
We all felt like we had a bit of Dolly.
And what a gift to see all of the tributes today, and to see all the clips and all the history and everything that she did with her life.
Yeah.
The amount of good she did, the amount of money she gave away, and the heart on her. I feel like her passing, in mourning her, it's made everyone take stock of their own heart today.
You wrote on Instagram, we should all be inspired by her to kind of behave a little bit like her. We can just do a little bit of what she did.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just be true to ourselves and see the good in everybody and
be more Dolly is what I've been saying.
Dolly.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to give by. That would be a nice legacy, a way to remember her. Listen, we're going to talk about your music as well, Alicia, and you've got an album that's out now, but I want to just play people at home. This is from the second song from the album, Freeze Frame. Let's have a listen.
There's a place beyond this where we got to kiss outside the minutes of the piano keys.
This is lovely. This is really lovely. And the album I was reading is actually inspired by the body of work David Lynch's, the director, who also sadly passed. His body of work.
Well, inspired by my connection to him and how I feel he has changed my life in every way life could be changed. As a person, really, even more than the body of work.
Because you were very young, weren't you? You were in, obviously, Twin Peaks, but also June as well. How old were you there?
I was 7 years
Oh,
old,
my
and I had
goodness.
no aspiration yet to be an actor. I lived in, he had the empathy that I believe affected every aspect of who I am.
And it's acting, but it's the music, and the music has always been there. And we've got a little clip from Sybil, so this was the sitcom in the 90s, I believe. And even in this, you're playing the piano. I mean, it's just always there. It's always present for you, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Music and acting have gone hand in hand literally since the beginning. And it's as though the two of them feed each other. They're both equally ways that I express myself and connect to other people, most importantly.
Well, listen, as I said, the album's out now. You're doing a launch show at the Crazy Cox in London on the 19th of October, but also you're playing Stronger and Bar on the 2nd of September.
Yes.
Alicia Witt, can you come in again and we can talk a bit more?
I would love to. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. OK, before we go to the weather and important updates, remember the monkey left on a bus going to Kendall Rise? He was found by a driver in a laundry bag and nicknamed Oyster. Well, now Nibbles, oh, it's her new name, settling into a new home in Essex. And she's going to be introduced to Loki, a lonely male at the centre. It's time for the weather. Here's Philippa.
Come rain or shine, Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
Hello there, hope you've had a lovely day. There's been a lot of sunshine, just a few showers breaking out, but over the next 24 to 48 hours we'll see more in the way of showers, some of them quite heavy and potentially thundery. As a result, the Met Office have a couple of yellow thunderstorm warnings coming into force as we head through the next couple of days. And it's all very much down to low pressure. In charge of our weather as we head through the rest of the working week and into the bank holiday weekend as well. So various areas coming towards us, bringing weather fronts, and those weather fronts, of course, providing the focus for showers or longer spells of rain. Out there at the moment, they're relatively quiet, any daytime showers slowly fading, but it won't be long before we see further showers breaking out, initially fairly scattered, but if you cast your eyes further south, you can see something a little more organised making its presence felt. In between all of that, a rather mild and muggy night, and temperatures for most of us actually holding up in the high teens. But it's tomorrow morning where we'll get plenty of showers working their way northwards. As I say, some of these could be heavy and thundery. That yellow warning will be in force. We could even see a little bit of hail falling as well. But it will move its way northwards through the first half of the day, and into the afternoon things look much drier, much brighter, sunny spells making their return, and with warm southerly winds, another very warm day indeed, highs up to around 27 degrees Celsius. Now overnight into Friday, low pressure is still very much in control of things, and the front wrapped around that will see further showers starting to drift our way, setting the tone for the days that follow and leading us into a pretty changeable picture for the long weekend ahead. Bye-bye.
Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
And finally, small London venues have often led to big careers, from David Bowie in the pubs and halls around Bromley to Amy Winehouse at the old Rayner Hotel. But just like our pubs, small venues are fast disappearing. Now a familiar face is trying to get more music live and local. Olivia Mustafa reports.
From stadium crowds to the pub. On Saturday, Danny Jones is heading back to humble beginnings, performing at the Anchor in Southwark on a smaller stage than usual.
It's an opportunity for me to just go back to where I started and play for people that may have not seen me in this environment ever. You know, to come and play just me with an acoustic guitar at a pub, like, I'm more nervous about this gig than I am playing a big show. Put it that way.
Everybody wants to know her name.
And it's all in the name of supporting small venues, which paved the way for his rise to stardom in McFly. Danny's free gig is part of a campaign to get fresh talent performing in pubs. In London, there's about 180 grassroots music spots, but numbers have declined over the past couple of decades.
London has got an amazing music scene, and the Green King Pubs Live at your local is a chance for all those London artists to come and get discovered. You know, where it gives them a platform to come and play and in front of people. I've seen some incredible performers and artists in pubs, and I think it's the best way to find someone.
Danny will also be joined by emerging London talent, performing in the same pub as part of the campaign's competition for undiscovered artists.
All these new artists will come along, show us what they're made of, but most of all, have fun. You never know where these guys might end up, and we get to see them in a London pub by the river, doing their thing, like with a nice cool pint. What's not to love?
It's first come, first served to see Danny's set, and with plenty of up-and-coming artists too, punters are in for a treat, all in support of the smaller spaces behind the stardom. Olivia Mustafa, ITV News.
Treat indeed, and that is it from us for now. The evening news is next with Mary, but for now, from all of us on the London team, bye-bye, have a great evening.